Welcome to the Margins Podcast.
We're back.
We are back. We're back with the podcast that talks about books. The ones that leave a mark, start a conversation, and stay with you long after that last page. My name is Stranton, and this is my co-host, who is currently choking on tequila.
That's a little shot of Devil's to something. Devil's. Can you read that from here?
Reserve.
Devil's Reserve tequila.
Yeah.
Check it out. Has a jalapeno tinge.
I could smell it.
Sweet follow up.
Yeah.
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 I'm Cristiano, by the way.
Yeah.
So today, guys, we're getting into. This is one of them ones.
This is one of the ones.
This is one of them ones. Okay.
This is the one.
This is, for me, this is my most.
You're who I got it from.
Gifted book. I have never referred and gifted out more. Liza Lockamora is a kind of a close second, but this one's more universal. So I've gifted it to old, young, etc. Guys, we're talking about The Prophet by Kahlil Gibran. If you guys don't know him, you'll love him. He is a Lebanese American poet. He was born overseas, and I want to say he moved out here when he was 12, stayed until he was 15, moved back to Lebanon to go to school and like learn French and do some other stuff. Stayed there till he was about 17, 18. Came back here. Family was sick, so he lost his mom, a sister, a brother. I want to say his other sister survived, but it's like tuberculosis and cancer. So at that time, he's like 17. He ended up living with his sister till he was like 19, I want to say. He might have been living with her a little bit longer. And he started to get... He was always into writing. He was always like known for like being very artistic, even when he was a jit. And so basically... the writings that you guys would be familiar with, if you're familiar with him, came when he was like, so The Prophet he wrote when he was like 40-ish, 1923. He was 19 in 1900. So do the math. He was like 40, right on the cusp of 40 when he wrote The Prophet. So the writings that the world is familiar with, he was already a man. He already went through a lot of heartbreak. He already went through a lot of loss, a lot of gain, hence the volume, right, of the scope and that he was writing in. I think that what really makes this book special is that he got to go through so much. He was learned in the part of Lebanon he was in. It was like Christian Catholic, so you could say Catholicism. He was very well read in Catholicism, but obviously he grew up in Lebanon, so there's a huge Arabic and Islamic culture there too. So very well learned in that. Coming to America, obviously we're still based in that same Christian Catholic area, and this, amongst all the other life things that happened to him, didn't even get into his relationship with his dad, who was abusive. All of this kind of determined who he was and the art that he created. He was known as a poet, but he did all kinds of art. And so anyways, we're gonna talk about The Prophet today, guys. I just want to give you guys a little backstory. Excited
about this. As I said, Cristiano is the one that introduced me to this book. I knew it was very high on his list of books that he's read, and that it was the one that he mostly gifted. Yes. So I went at it and was pleasantly surprised by it.
Because I told you I was like, it's on par with The Alchemist.
Yeah, absolutely. As much as I love The Alchemist, and that it has layers, guys, this one.
Yeah, it's all me.
You'll be swimming in the layers of this one. You have, as Cristiano has coined it before, it is daily bread.
Daily bread.
You will always find something every time you crack that book open. So, But yeah, thank you guys for joining us this week. As always, we start the episode with quick check-in. How are you doing?
Chilling, doing well. I'm excited because this is one of my favorite books in history. So I'm jittery just to get into the topics.
Yeah, me too.
So I'm good. Can't have a bad day talking about the topic.
Yeah.
Talking about the prophet.
I love your shirt.
Thank you.
Love the shirt.
Are you a Joker or more
Bro, we know.
Batman?
Remember?
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Batman until I die.
Batman
until
forever.
I die.
Wait, who's the best
As long as
Batman?
it's not Batman. Yeah, we've talked about this.
Who's the best Batman?
Best Bruce Wayne is Ben Affleck. Best Batman so far. Obviously, love Christian Bale. Love him to death.
Yeah.
I hate his Bruce Wayne.
Oh shit.
I hate his Bruce Wayne.
Yeah, but not his Batman.
His Batman, because the whole voice thing is I like, but I do think Pattinson will give him a run for his money.
I like Pattinson.
Depending on how he evolves.
depiction.
Yeah, because we're talking about year 1 Batman, technically year 2 with Pattinson because he's already moving and
Yeah.
so we'll see what Batman 2 has to give us.
Yeah.
But
No George Clooney.
or Val Kilmer, R.I.P.
Damn.
Love me some Val Kilmer, and then obviously, Michael Keaton is the one who set the tone for everything.
Yeah.
But I know y'all that are on the jock of Christian Bale will I get it, and I get his films, and I'm just saying that my Batman was not, as much as you want to say Pattinson is an emo Batman, he wasn't running around saying, Rachel was gonna run away with me and crying all the time. So that's the only thing, getting slapped around by Rachel too.
Yeah.
That's a Tuesday night for me, Get the joke. It's my, Rachel.
I get it. Yeah. I never noticed that.
Yeah.
I never noticed that until just now.
Probably why.
Yeah, I get it. He's Batman.
Yeah, Batman.
All right. So, with that being said, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
Chilling.
Not too much to report. We had a great week.
Yeah.
Had some fun activities, but
Too much fun or just enough?
I think just enough. Finally got some sleep.
Oh yeah, that's good. That's perfect.
That's all you can ask for.
The boy's still trying to walk.
I can't remember if I reported this, but he did take his first couple steps.
Oh, let's go.
He's been cruising like crazy around the apartment, but really cruising, like holding on to something. But
he'd let go and
finally let go. Took 3 steps.
Ooh,
and then stopped.
That's big.
And then sat down.
Yeah.
So the kid can go from a full stand to a squat, not to dropping to his butt.
Yeah.
But squatting down and then standing back up. He has the leg strength to do this, guys. It's just whether he wants to do it.
Yeah. When he's ready.
When he's ready.
Yeah.
It's all on his
Was
clock.
Rachel there?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Because being at work when that kind of shit happens is annoying.
She was in the other room when he took 2 steps. He took 3 in front of her, and I wasn't going to say anything, but I was like, I need her to get here now. So I said, babe. And she's like, yeah. I was like, 2 steps. And she's like, and I'm not there. And she came running around, and then he took 3. So we were good.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that. All right. See, great stuff is happening.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
All right. So with that being said, let's enter
get into
the prophet.
Yeah.
Right.
This is a different style book than we've covered.
Yeah, because it's not so much like a novel.
Is there a story?
Yes. But the story is really just a vehicle to deliver various poems. Right. And the poems could be standalone. Like you actually don't have to read this front to back.
Yeah.
You can read it back to front. You could pick out a page, close your eyes, flip a page, and read it, and do that until you finish the book, and it would not affect the reading of the book.
Not at all. Not at all. Yeah. Very, very simplistic in the best way.
Yeah,
Let's keep
absolutely.
it foundational. Shall we?
Yeah, we could jump in. Yeah.
Okay.
So, this might be actually. Let's go back to this. Let's do the synopsis first.
Okay. Yeah. Let's.
Yeah.
Good call.
The prophet follows al-Mustafa in the hours before he leaves the city of Orphalese. The people gather and ask him to speak about the parts of life that shape them, like love, work, children, pain, joy, freedom, death, etc. Marriage. I can go on.
Keep going. There's a lot. There's a lot.
Each chapter is short, and basically it's a reflection on how people try to live with purpose while carrying joy and hurt at the same time. Guys, this is daily bread. Like, I don't care your religion, race, creed, going through something, greatest time of your life. This book is for
everyone in every stage.
I've said this before, but this book is literally for everyone. It was written to be universal. At every stage of your life. And I think it's one of the most important books ever written. I don't know. There's probably only a couple books that I can think of right now that were more important in history. So I don't say it lightly when I say I refer this book out to everyone.
You were talking about Red Rising? Was that the other one?
That's the other one.
Dungeon Crawler Crawl?
So much so that I recently referred this to Random on Reddit.
Oh, yes.
And he wrote me back like a month later. He was like, bro, I don't know how you did it, but you referred the perfect book to me. This is exactly what I was looking for. It was exactly what you described it as. Can you get on blah, blah, blah platform? I would love for you to recommend more books to me. And that says less about me and more about the book. Like, it's not that I'm just so great at referring books, because I could be hit or miss. So if I can enjoy that, other people might. But the book really is so complete. It's a complete book.
Yeah.
So with that being said,
should we give him just because of how simple it is?
Yeah, it is very
the
simple.
homie breakdown.
Yeah.
Let's give him
a homie breakdown.
Homie breakdown.
Okay, so you have the main character, al-Mustafa, the prophet, the chosen one. And so basically the story starts when he's preparing to leave. His ship comes in and he can see it from shore. And the people see that he's about to leave, so they all come out. Different kinds of people, different creeds, different places of
all
life.
that have crossed his path.
Everyone's across his path. And they all ask him, they all want to hear one last thing from him. And so the prophet is literally his last conversations with the people. And as we said earlier, they talk about love, life, marriage, death, children, eating, drinking. You name it, they cover it. And it's less about him and him being like the prophet and the chosen one, and more about him helping them remember who they really are.
Yeah.
And that's why I refer this book to everyone, is that this book, even if you only read 10 pages of it, you don't really need to read the other 73, because you've gotten the essence in what he's trying to get across. Every excerpt is a different iteration of your life.
Yeah.
And that's basically what it is. It goes from him seeing the ship coming on the shore to him getting on the ship and leaving, him telling them that I will come again. I'll be born to a woman.
Yeah. Reincarnated.
Reincarnated, basically.
You said something in there that I just want to harp on, which is, it's not that he's teaching something new. He's reminding these people who they are and what they're doing. And if you pay attention specifically to who's asking the question or asking him to remind them, it's, as a couple of just an example, the teacher asks about teaching.
Right.
The priest asks about religion
or something like this.
Yeah.
Belief.
Yeah. And
you have the worker who asks about work,
labor. Yeah.
Labor. You have it's basically, it's not like a child. It's not him teaching children something new. He's literally just there to remind you who you are, because we're all of the same essence.
Absolutely.
And he's one of the main themes that like permeates throughout the book is that everything is love. Everything is love. If you're not doing it with love, if love's not a part of that, then either you're on the wrong path or you need to kind of reevaluate.
Yeah.
Also understand that love is tied to pain, sorrow.
I think
hate.
there's a lot of yin and yang. The idea of there being, with light there's darkness, and that they feed each other, joy and sorrow. I love this book for that reason.
Yeah.
That in order to feel one thing, you have to have the depth of the other.
Yeah.
And that one is only a signal that you have the other, or that you've had the depth of the other, and you have the capacity of it.
Yeah, they can't exist in and of themselves.
No, you can't. Yeah.
Joy and sorrow. One of my favorite passages in the book, by the way, because he beautifully explains how the existence of the joy that you feel is directly related to the depths of sorrow that you have the capacity to feel. And if you ever find yourself in this joyless, sorrowful place, joy is right there. You're so close to the joy that you're looking for. The sorrow that you feel is the lack of joy that you know should be there, should be filling up your life. So it's everything's a duality, and even more so, although he goes through like these dualities, love, loss, eating, drinking, children, parenting, etc. There's a cycle that he talks about how everything is pushed into the best way, I guess the homie way to say it is that, the joy and pain you feel is of the body. But who you really are, is like a spirit. And that's actually what the whole departing's about. There's actually a section in there, I think it's called the departing. And so basically him leaving, even him leaving is like metaphoric
For him passing.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And how this existence is plain that we physically meet up and enjoy kids, marriage, food, drink, lying, lusting, etc. All these things. This is temporary. And it brings you joy. He even talks about like crime and punishment.
Yeah.
Right?
It does. Yep.
And how it's not... You can blame the person who was robbed just as much as you can blame the robber, right? Like, we all have equal stakes in this game. And once again, the prose is insane.
Yeah.
Like, he puts it super simple, but it's beautifully written because there's a lot of thought into how these things affect each other.
I think to its credit, the way he lists the chapters too, depending on how you want to, whether it's like, hey, let's spin a wheel and whatever it lands on, love, marriage, work, whatever it may be, it then ends. I mean, you go to that segment, the chapter or whatever you want to call it, it ends, and then it says, oh, and then so-and-so came up and they asked, will you speak on this?
Yeah.
And then we're in the next one. But because of the whole daily bread idea, or when you're in the moment of, I do want to, let's see which one of these topics I need to hear today.
Yeah.
It's beautifully.
What I've read the most, the one I read the most, and I don't know why I'm drawn to it because it's not my favorite, but it's On Death.
Oh, that's interesting. That's not the one that I would have pegged.
I read a lot of them, but the reason why I read On Death a lot, I think that he puts it in like a way that jogs the mind to think very broadly. And he even states this in a book, like for things to be vague or broad means you're at the beginning of something. It's not a bad thing. You're just at the beginning of the thought of that thing. And as time goes on, it becomes more refined. that's how I'm like, we don't know shit about it. We're so far from understanding it, and all the other things I have like some sense of relationship to. With death, even though I've seen it on various levels,
we have no first person accounts.
We have no first person accounts.
Zero.
Bro. And like most people, it's something I think about. And the older you get, you think about it more.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we tend to think about it as death being like the lack of you being present here in the physical world. But like whenever I read the prophet as a whole, as a body of work, I think about it more as you've lived.
Again, the duality of
right. Death is like the message. It's the final message you send out that you have lived.
Mm-hmm.
And this is like a duality that he outlines in this book, and that's why I read it a lot because like I think that the level of importance in the messages that he speaks are crazy. So I can go on about this forever. So let's get into some broader discussion angles, and there's some questions earlier that I thought were pretty cool. So let's go on to that. Yeah, I guess we can go into like this. So, you know, in terms of like talking points, I don't know if I skipped something that you want to go over. But,
no, you've nailed it.
there isn't like a real plot here. Like there is a sequential story, yes, but it takes such a backseat to the words. I don't know how to put that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's not like a conventional book.
It's the first time that the storyline takes a backseat to the message.
A good way to put it, in The Alchemist, if you guys have read it or heard of it, it uses a story as the car to deliver the message. And in The Prophet, the message is the message.
Yeah.
The story is... it's not really a vehicle at all. Like I guess you can call it a vehicle, but it's not important.
It's just the setup.
It's just like a setup.
Yeah.
It's like at this point in time in history, in order for you to take this in how I want you to take it in, I have to put it in this format. So I will. But it's only so it's edible. Like even how you said, was it the teacher or someone? And how they approach the subjects. It's not like, oh, now I'm going to talk about this. No, it's like this person comes up and they're like, oh, and tell us about teaching. Oh, and tell us about work.
And it still comes from a place of humility.
Yes,
the whole way through. It's
super. A lot of it, none of it is like, I know everything, you know nothing.
No, I've heard it related to Psalms, and I'm like, because even then, that's someone saying that it's, depending on what you believe, that it's word of God or song, like, you know, interpreted word or whatever it may be. But even Psalms I found to be very black and white. Very like, if you do this, this is it. Like, period, no matter what. Whereas I feel like in these writings, it's not like so much up for debate, but he wrote it in a way that, again, from a humble point of view, his opinion, which is so, it feels like that's that fails to comprehend. Like, but his experience, that's what I should say, his life experience. We'll say Mustafa's. Mufasa. Damn. But yeah, his life experience, what he's giving isn't, this is it.
No.
You know?
It's really a remembrance.
Yes.
Like, he wants everyone to know who they are. Mm-hmm. You know? Like, understand who you are. Understand what you go through isn't you. And understand that you are everything. This book honestly changed my fucking life. Like, it did change my life. I was going through probably mind you, before I even like read it in full. I had already read Excerpts because I was familiar with it from different things. Boondocks also was actually a great carrier of this message. And the Wingman episode, where Granddad's friend dies, and Huey goes up and he says a excerpt from this book. I think it's from Pain. In this book, at the funeral. You know, for me, just to be a little bit specific, I was going through like I don't know if you call it like a awakening or a reawakening or fucking midlife crisis, midlife crisis. At this time, I was pretty young. But I just know I was broke as fuck. I was poor. I wasn't achieving what I thought I should have achieved at that age. And everything was painful. Every step, every ounce of ground that I took for myself, I had to fight for. And to keep it was a fucking battle. So I didn't enjoy any of it. If the people close to me, they've heard my stories from London, I don't really talk about a lot of stuff other than that it was fucking hard. Mm-hmm. And I remember reading this book a lot when I was there because I went through probably one of the worst. I didn't even know depression was real for this fucking depression. And I went through a crazy bad depression. And this book really helped me because I came up with something called spherical thinking. And the core of spherical thinking came from a lot of stuff that I read from this book. Because it allowed me to, there's something called a punctum in photography. And the punctum of any photo is the specific, like, there's a lot of shit that there's a foreground, there's a background, a lot of stuff they want you to see in a picture, but the punctum is the one thing that the photographer took that he wants to keep your eye, you know? And what it basically did for me was it allowed me to take all the knowledge that I was developing and create a punctum. So rather than feel like I'm being inundated with bills, inaffordability, you know, friendships breaking down, relationships breaking down, family, you know, passing away, not being able to do this, like this victim standpoint where everything's happening to me. Mm-hmm. I realized that, oh shit, this is all connected. So rather than me dealing with 1,000 different things, I'm dealing with one thing. And here's how they're connected. And it became a lot more edible for me. And that's how I started to break down the depression around me into something that I can deal with day to day. And, you know, you get better at it. And eventually you're on top of it. But this book was instrumental. At this time, I had no kids. You know, I couldn't, but still, you know, reading those passages still helped me. Like, you know, so it's one of those books that I definitely, I don't lightly recommend, refer, or I gift it. There's actually a part in here that's very real. I don't really recommend the book. I gift the book.
Yeah.
I can't say how many times I recommend it. Probably, you know, a lot because it's one of those books. But I've gifted it. It's the most gifted book by me for sure. So I don't have a fucking copy right now because I gave away my last copy. So yeah. With that being said, let's jump into the questions, or there's something else you want to run through?
No, let's do questions.
All right, guys, our bread and butter. Let's jump into the 5-art questions. So, number 1, Kahlil Gibran writes about learning from both joy and struggle when you look at your adult life. What is one lesson you had to learn the slow way that helped it settle in?
Maybe, not maybe. The value, my own value. I think I sought for it in places and in people that I thought it had to be earned, that I thought it was from something outward that I needed to bring in.
Right.
And I didn't realize that was something that was...
Yeah, the exude.
Yeah, exude.
Yeah.
That was inherent to me. And that was something that, yeah, I mean, we talk about our 20s, our teenage years and everything.
Yeah.
Even early 30s, we'll say.
Yeah.
But that I feel like I'm having a better grasp on now. But it was definitely a slow and steady rise of understanding, to find where I felt steady enough to feel both comfortable in different places and to understand why I was uncomfortable in others and be okay with cutting those aspects of my life out, you know?
There's a level of vulnerability at that for that too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What about you?
What is one lesson that I had to learn the slow way? What helped to settle in? Success.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like a destination. You don't just you don't make a plan, make an outline, achieve X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3, equal sign, and then you're at success. It's not like this formula that you throw them up. Mm-hmm. A lot of success has to do with intention and covering ground that you intentionally lay out to cover. The other side of that is comprehension. And that's important because you'll cover ground that you never knew was important to you, right? So all the things that you learn in life that you didn't really have a road work for, but then after you experience it, you realize how important it was to you. Mm-hmm. Comprehension and intention are two of the main drivers of these things, you know? So definitely success. Success not being a destination, or I can even go as far as to say, like, don't strive for success. You want to live a successful life. You want to make successful choices. You want to, I think thriving is more important than just success, right? Because hypothetically, you get everything you ask for. You outline it, you plan it, you do it, you get there, it ends. Before you even get to enjoy it, the first thing on your mind is, that's it. Mm-hmm. You know? Humans are inherently always focused on trumping things you want to be able to overcome. Mm-hmm. And it's not enough just to win a battle. You got to win all the wars. And this happened to me in real life. I'm speaking from like a place of wisdom here because I actually been through it. But eventually you reach the end of the road where you're like, oh, this is me successfully completing everything I said I was going to do. And it'll be like, oh, shit, that's it. Then you have a whole other mountain to climb. Like, success shouldn't be your end goal. It should be a part of your journey.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Question number 2. Jabon writes about giving without losing yourself. When have you tried to give more than you should have? And how did you learn where the line was?
I'm in my 30s, and this is still something that I struggle with. I'm not gonna lie.
Yep.
It's a lesson I'm still learning.
Mm-hmm.
Because now that I understand the power of like being human and that we all have, I always want to break things down to their bare aspects and give my 100% when people aren't even trying to play the game. So that's tough, and you will lose yourself. And I have lost pieces of myself that I wish I can get back. That's a tough game. It's kind of hard for me to answer that because I'm still actively trying to.
I think I'm in it too. I think what's helped me, and not to dote and give her so much credit, but my relationship with Rach, having her there to check me in those moments where she's like, they don't appreciate you.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you're putting in this time. They're not reciprocating, or you check in so much more than so and so or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's most of the time it's valid. There's other times where I'm like, well, that's, not all relationships are give and take, or sometimes you're okay with that. But there have been so many things that she's called me out on in the best way that I'm like, oh, I knew I was going without, or that, I was going past the line of exhaustion with some things.
Yeah.
But then to have someone there that's like, hey, you need to cut that back. It's always it's been
That's big.
great. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll end with this. I don't think I care that there's a line.
Mm-hmm.
I think that in my ups and downs in life, one thing that I myself drew a line in the sand where I like, this is important to me. I don't care if it's important to anyone else. To the day I die is that I don't care if I give 100%, 150% and no one gives anything anymore.
Oh, yeah.
I think that that's the one thing that's the hill I'm willing to die on. Like, I don't do things for other people anymore. Mm-hmm. Like, if I'm going to do something because I want to, so I'm going to, be the best friend to people who are not being best friends. Not my case, but I will do that. If I'm going to be the hard worker to a job that doesn't appreciate me, I'm going to do that. Yeah. And this is something that kind of inherently happened, but that's probably why I don't have an answer for this question. Because, like, for me, there isn't a line where I need to learn to, like, not give myself to everything. I think that we are everything. I think that literally humans are everything. They're the good, they're the bad, they're the ugly, they're the beautiful. We give the world color. We give the universe color. We give life meaning.
Yeah.
Question number 3.
Let's do it.
Gibran says children move through life with their own rhythm. What is a recent moment with your child that reminded you how fast life shifts, even in the small ways? Great question for you.
Yeah. There's not like a thing that doesn't do that for me on a daily basis. We're still very much in the phase of looking at the same photos that we took when he was a newborn all the way up until the day of, as in today.
Yeah.
And just comparing, contrasting. So there's never not a day that we're not looking at the changes that have happened. But even today, there was a point where I was washing the dishes and he was sitting playing with toys, and he looked over and I saw him like take me in, like look up and then smile, like give like a grin at me and then go back to playing. And I was just like understanding that he has that awareness now, where I remember when he was still, even whether he was when he was in the NICU or even when we were like at home and we're changing his diaper, I just remember I was like, I can't wait till when he looks at me, he's looking at me, or that he's like touches is intentional, you know?
Yeah.
And then to have that small moment today, I was just like, I actually said right away, there's that trend right now on TikTok that there's like videos of parents like holding their kiddo or touch for the last time. Oh, I love that one too. But there's ones where it's like, oh, when I'm in my 80s and like, off my rocker or whatever it may be, this is where I'm going to be going back to. And that's like your kiddo's napping in your arms and you like brushing their hair or whatever. And when he looked over at me, I actually yelled from my kitchen. I was like, "This is one of those memories. I'm gonna remember this." And he was just like, he probably clocked back in, like, "What?" Miss Rachel's on.
Right.
Yeah, the last pickup thing. Yeah, that gets me every time.
Yeah.
What about you?
Got 2 kids, so I guess I'll do one for each. So Nuri, she's reading. Which is great. I love reading, guys. for me, it's like a sign of independence. It's super important to me to be able to read and write. So now, I remember when she was saying, I can't read. She would just tell us like, I'm like, I don't know, I can't read. And she was at to her teachers, like, you know, and like she's reading things that are difficult for her, which I'm more excited about than the things that she can read well. But Nuri's reading, which I'm like, thank God, because you know, for a second there, I was worried a little bit.
She doing the bedtime stories now for
Najee? No, she don't give a fuck about her brother. Her brother is problematic to her at this point in her life. But you know, there's a moment like when they're young, when the lights turn on, when they start to notice you, a moment, and then like these moments keep happening. And the reading is a big milestone because it's just a level of independence when you read to your kid and stuff like that. So like now they can read to you, you know. You'll help them through some stuff. We're still in that phase, not so far along. But yeah, she's reading. Najee, fucking smart kid. It's crazy how kids are smart in different ways. Nuri was physically way more advanced than Najee. She would walk like at 7-8 months. So by like we have video of her when she's like 9-10 months dancing. Like she's extremely advanced athletically, right? He's extremely advanced in terms of like knowing shit, talking, understanding conversation, holding conversation, that kind of thing. Like problem solving. He's more advanced than her at that age. And so just seeing him, and now Naya's doing this thing where she's doing the line on the door.
Oh yeah, height.
So we get to physically see how tall they're growing and shit. So like, yeah, I think that definitely brings to light like how fast life is going for me. Every day I'm like, fuck, I'm getting old.
Yeah.
I remember this was me. Like I didn't have the whole height thing going, but I remember learning how to read. I remember being 4 and trying to teach myself how to read this fucking Spanish book called Mi Iglesia, which I did.
My church.
Yes. I read that shit front and back a million times. And after that, I started reading all the Zootopia books. I read everything I could get my hands on. I was very independent because I didn't have, formal.
Site.
Right. The site. Harry Potter. E.B. White. Thank God for You. The Trumpet and the Swan. You really, that's actually the book. That's the first book I ever remember reading by myself. I was 4 or 5. Probably 5 at that point. Which it's still a hard read for a 5-year-old. So I didn't understand it great. I didn't. I remember I was like, what is Indian style? Because he's walking on a log Indian style in the very beginning of the book. And I was like 5 or something then, and basically they told me like, oh, you gotta wait so you can understand this to read it. And so I came back when I was like 6, 7 and read the book. But that was the first book that I was like, oh, I have to know how to read to understand this book. Because once again, there's a difference between understanding and comprehension. Yeah. You can sound something out and read it and have no idea what the fuck it means. So, The Trumpet and the Swan by E.B. White definitely was the first book that really like pushed me into reading. But yeah, thank God my kids are going through that right now because, damn.
Yeah.
Thought we were going to be riding and, whatever.
All right, question number 4. Gibran says, work becomes lighter when it feels tied to a meaning. When did your work feel clear, and when did it feel far from who you were trying to be?
I won't be long, guys, on this one. My favorite work that I ever did was when I was doing art and design. I would spend all day, hours and hours and hours building shit. So much so that my friends would just pop into my studio. Thank God I had a studio I could work in, like with all the tools. I bought some tools, but a lot of them were there. Like, bro, you okay? And I would spend so much time there. Some of my best friends, they were like, the only way to spend time with you is just for me to help you. So it would literally come and help me build different pieces because this is the only way.
This is what's happening.
This is it. Like, we can't spend time with you otherwise. I stopped going out I stopped doing everything. I did that and I went to work. And it didn't feel like work. I fucking loved every second of it. It was amazing. I loved building it. I loved conceptualizing it. I loved creating the models. I loved seeing people interact with my art. I had a great interaction. I'm still friends with her on Instagram and stuff, but it's like, I'm on the slight incline when I'm going through my depression, so I'm still fucked up. But I created this one installation. It was a big installation. I won't bore you guys with the notes in it, but she went through it, and the exact emotion that I imbued into the art that I wanted people to feel, she was the person I felt it. Thank God I knew her. So I saw her go through it, and she just started breaking down crying. And so I spoke to her about it after that. I was like, that's literally, like, and she told me, she spoke to me first. She's like, I get you, I understand. Like, I get everything. I get what you did, And it was a special design installation. And I'll never forget it because that's all I really needed at that moment was for someone to understand what I was going through. Insane. But yeah, that's a moment. What about you? Work becomes lighter when it feels tied to meaning. When did your work feel clear? When did it feel far from who you were trying to be?
There's always been a thing where, I shouldn't say always, but there was a time in my life where every number needed a name. So like every goal, there had to be something tied to it. So it wasn't, you didn't just want numbers, you wanted people attached to those numbers and a goal set. So it's not just, up in the air, whatever. Realistic planning. And I found that when I kept that in mind, even now, not having goals of just, talking about success.
Yeah.
It's not that I want to be successful. What does that mean for me? And breaking that down.
Yeah. What is success to you?
Yeah. What is success? When I realized that I could be on a set and, put in the time of preparing a character, memorizing lines, and to the point where that's secondary and I'm really thinking about delivering something, that is obviously when I'm most joyous. I've also had my background work in, customer service and done like admin work and all of that. And it's not surprising, but there were moments of joy in that when I was able to, problem solve or make someone's day. But it is night and day difference between that and being able to, as you say, with working on your art, really putting the effort in where, a lot of people either don't have the opportunity to or aren't willing to be vulnerable enough to try this thing that most people won't dedicate themselves to.
Right.
So yeah, that's I think that's what I got. Question 5.
Question 5. Although I would love to spend more time on question 4.
Do you want to answer more?
No. I was going to ask more questions for you, but it's okay. We'll go to question 5.
Okay.
Gibran says, love shapes you in ways you do not expect. When you think about your life now, what is one way love changed you that you did not see coming?
So many ways.
All the ways.
Literally all the ways. Becoming something that I didn't think or like outside of the mold of what I expected my life to be. Religiously, career-wise, as a father. There's so many, there's just everything, because at least with Rach, it's freeing. Like the idea of being able to have the ability to be vulnerable enough to voice like your true desires,
Right.
not desires that will match their expectation or what their goals are, because they should be able to share those. I should be able to share mine, and we can we find the compromise, or find the way to succeed. That was one of the things when we moved out here was, I swore to her, I was like, hey, we're moving to LA, but like, I'll be damned if you don't get the career you want, which is why
all things can happen.
She got her master's. She's now full-time therapist. I'm not a movie star yet, but
on the way.
You
are on the road.
On the way.
But wait on that ship.
Exactly. Wait on that ship. So yeah, that. What about you?
Yes. Yes. I mean, love does shape you in all the ways. Like, not just like interpersonal love between person to person, but like love of life, which is super underrated. Love of work, chance, dreaming. I think that some people only get acquainted with love in like 1 degree. And so they might like, oh, I don't give a fuck, yeah. But like, it's all the same love. And once you get like really deep into it, it gets like the different degrees of it. I think that your level of appreciation of everything raises. And that's something that it definitely changed for me. I appreciate everything so much more. I appreciate everything down to that we live in California. I love where we're at. I love looking at the scenery. I love the weather. I love the fact that, we're so close to snow if we want to go to snow. When it rains, I love the rain, just standing outside. I'm not going to wear a hoodie. I'm just going to be outside in the rain. I love life, Same thing when I travel. Like, when I spend my time, people always ask me, like, oh, how'd you do it? Especially people who have traveled. They'll tell me stories about how it was so hard for them. And, obviously I was lucky in a sense that I didn't have, like, a lot of ties that made it difficult for me to travel for long periods of time. But I really focused on enjoying where I was at, though. Like, I'll try anything, like, crazy foods, different lifestyles. Like, it's one reason why it's hard for me to hear people talk shit about China so much, because I lived there, and China is so much like America. Like, it's so much like America, and it's crazy that Americans hate China based on like propaganda and shit that they don't know. But as someone who's actually fucking lived there for a long period of time, you can live there and you would have a decent life and you wouldn't give a fuck. Like, you would care the same amount that you care now about the government oversight and all the other shit that happens politically. But also, I know that I'm, privileged because of my point of view of love. Like, I genuinely went in with the idea that I was gonna love where I was at. I'm gonna try all the food. I'm gonna talk to people. I'm gonna go out and learn everything. I've been trying to learn sign language for years because I'm super interested to see how that is. Like, what's life without actually being able to hear, and like how you communicate. And I'm interested in like how language changes communicate. Like, I love life, in general. So I think that it does shape you. And without that, I would have been the same old person that I was. Probably wouldn't be here. Who knows?
Yeah. Guys, that's it. That's it for 5 hard questions.
We got through it.
Yeah. What's a...
Before we...
Yeah, go for it.
We're not going to spoilers here.
No. I mean, I don't know what spoiler we want to give. Spoiler. Spoil something.
Do you have a favorite
That's what I was actually going to.
Okay.
Specifically,
We're on the same
favorite section. Yeah. That's what I was going to say.
Bar here.
Yeah.
There's bars.
There are a couple. I'm gonna two. I'll narrow it down to two.
Okay.
On my first time through, I loved the section on friendship, and that friendship shouldn't be, it shouldn't be sought after in only times of need.
Right.
Or what can I get out of this? It's not transactional, but really the sharing of life, of your life's journey of both sides. Yeah. Experiences. Yeah. I love that, that there's depth in, or that it calls for depth in friendship. There's such like it came up yesterday. Was it yesterday or I don't know. It came up this weekend when, the classic thing of, your partner asks like, "Oh, you hung out with the guys. What's going on with them?"
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
He was good. Are they still dating? Is he still dating that one? I don't know.
We're just chilling, man.
I can say that's not the case. At least for the friends that like I want to be nourished and be nourished by.
Yeah.
That's never the case, Yeah. Anyway, that's why I love that section. What about you?
I also love those sections. That section in general. One thing that you will notice, you have noticed because you read it, love is the key proponent to like every section in the book. No matter what it is, work, marriage, children, parenting, eating, drinking, sorrow. Joy, sorrow. Love is the key component to all of it. So, for me, it'll be really hard to choose my favorite. I have a few top ones, but maybe I'll just do what I tell other people to do, just randomly pick something out. I'll do Reason and Passion. Okay. All right, guys, this is random. Once again, just literally flip through. It's daily bread, so you don't have to pick anything specific. They'll all speak to you. This poem is on Reason and Passion and how it starts. You have a priestess. You have a character called the priestess. They speak again. She says, "Speak to us of reason and passion." And the prophet answers saying, "Your soul is oftentimes a battlefield upon which your reason and your judgment wage war against your passion and your appetite. Would that I could be the peacemaker in your soul, that I might turn the discord and the rivalry of your elements into oneness and melody. But how shall I, unless you yourselves be also the peacemakers? Nay, the lovers of all your elements. Your reason and your passion are the rudder and the sails of your seafaring soul. If either your sails or your rudder be broken, you can but toss and drift, or else be held at a standstill in the mid-seas. For reason, ruling alone is a force confining, and passion unattended is a flame that burns to its own destruction. Therefore, let your soul exalt your reason to the height of passion that it may sing, and let it direct your passion with reason, that your passion may live through its own daily resurrection, and like the phoenix rise above its own ashes. There's more to this, but you get the gist. As we said earlier, there's duality. So every poem has its own duality that he has you riff through. And once again, like we said earlier, it's not like I know this and you have to learn this. It's more like, here's what you know, and I'm just reminding of who you are. I'm sure what will happen to many of you that's happened to us is that you could read a line, someone else will read the same line, and you both will get different answers, which is the beauty of the book. Yeah. You know,
Again, duality. Can we say that word a couple more times on this?
It's hard not to when you read the book.
Yeah, when you read it, it makes sense.
But guys, you'll read it in one sitting if you want to get through it. If you want to take your time, take it section by section, or just read a piece or read a paragraph. Mm-hmm. Read what's for you. You can just easily look up the chapters and find 3 or 4 that you think, would have some kind of connection with your life. I would say start there.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
You don't have to read it front to back.
You don't. It would be really quick.
Super
I think
quick.
Even audiobook wise, an hour.
Yeah, hour and some change.
Yeah. So cannot recommend this book enough.
I will never recommend this book enough.
No.
It's the best. It's the easiest recommendation you would ever make. You would never be wrong.
Stocking stuffer.
Mm-hmm. Stocking stuffer. It's like a self-help book, but it's not pretentious.
It's not pretentious. If you give it to someone, it's not going to be a outline of how they can be. Hey, you need to focus on this. This is literally, like we said, so many platitudes, so many different topics that it's, hey, take what you want, leave what you don't. Mm-hmm. You're gonna need it all, though.
As a daughter, as a son, as a father, as a mother, as an uncle, as an aunt, as a friend, as a neighbor, as a stranger. There's something for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfectly put.
All right. Well, with that being said, guys, thanks for joining us for the cover of The Prophet by Kahlil Gibran. Honestly, I'm not going to lie. I can talk hours and hours about this book.
Yeah. Let us know your guys' favorite passages once you read it.
Yeah.
Favorite segments. What came across to you. Yeah.
Looking forward to reading it, guys, and we'll catch you soon. That being said, peace.
Peace.